Hi. Have you ever thought to yourself, I'm too old to backpack, I'm too out of shape, I'm not experienced enough? That's not true. And I'm here to tell you it is never too late to try backpacking or hiking. And I want to share with you my story on how I started backpacking at the age of 35, 10 years ago, and it was not pretty. So, we are out on a training hike to get in shape for the hiking season. But that is something that I want to talk to you about too, and that's coming up near the end of the video. First, let's go with my story. You know what? I think I better stop and tell you so you're not listening to me huff and puff. Backpacking completely changed my life, and it empowered me in ways that I never expected. I started backpacking 10 years ago. I was 35 in 2016. And before that, I was just doing car camping with my family, not strapping on a pack with all the things that I needed and walking away from safety. So I wanted to try it. Before I tried it and bought all the gear, I found a trekking company that was able to take me out on trail in a small group, had all of the supplies that I needed, so I didn't have to actually go out and buy it. It was called Wildland Trekking, and I went off to the Grand Canyon, and that's how I started my very first backpacking trip. For me, that first backpack made me feel safe. I didn't have to navigate on my own, and I didn't have to invest a ton of money into gear for an activity that I wasn't even sure that I'd like yet. But after that trip, I was hooked. And when I got home, I slowly started collecting my own gear. Nothing fancy, mostly more affordable stuff that I would get, say, a Canadian Tire or Walmart, like a cook system, sleeping pad, sleeping bag, tent. I had no idea what kind of clothing to wear, all the merino wool stuff. I didn't know that until I actually moved to Canmore. I had no idea. I did find a friend who was willing to do my first unguided backpacking trip with me at a local provincial park in Ontario. And it was supposed to be a 3-night trip, but we only lasted for one night. I learned a lot on that trip. Our packs were way too heavy, and our kilometers were way too long from campsite to campsite. But we made it out for one trip, and then we just decided we didn't have the confidence to keep going, so we decided to go back the way we came because we knew what to expect. That trip wasn't a total fail because instead of quitting, I just scaled things back and I just started doing things more solo day hikes. I would camp at popular campgrounds so I wasn't by myself for 1 or 2 nights. And then I would just do day hikes in the provincial park. So I was hiking during the day so I could feel confident in that, get stronger and fitter, and wearing a heavier day pack. So it was really one small step at a time. Um, but I had been dreaming about hiking the Pacific Crest Trail for a long time, all because of that movie and The Wild, if you don't know that movie, in the book. So I started to set a goal. I actually hired a coach to help me train for that hike. And you know what? It wasn't about the physical training I need. It was the mindset, the confidence building. That's what I was training for, overcoming my fears and just trying to figure out how to do this first 500 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail by myself. That's something I never done before, ever. So, my advice to you is number one, mindset will carry you through the hard days, the doubts, the moments where you think, why am I even here in the first place? Mindset's the first thing. Second is fitness. And you know what? Fitness comes from backpacking, not before. It's not a prerequisite. You don't have to be in tip-top shape to just start backpacking. It's an endurance sport. Taking it slow is not a weakness. It's actually a strategy. And you'll enjoy your adventure so much more when you pace yourself and you listen to your body. And honestly, every season since I started backpacking, I feel like I have to start over. I'm not in shape. I'm not in shape now. Gained 10 pounds over the winter. I'm trying to get it back, but it won't be the same. It won't be tip-top shape until probably end of July when I've started hiking up big elevations throughout the week and doing backpacking trips. So I'll be in peak performance by the end of the season, and then I start all over again. It's just this constant roller coaster. But if you are hiking solo, if you are starting solo like I did, just start small. Try camping in a popular campground for a couple of nights. Leave your tent set up and just do day hikes so you don't have to pack and unpack, pack and unpack. You know where your home base is, your car if you need to. As for gear, yes, gear matters, but it doesn't need to be the lightest, newest, most expensive stuff. Thrift stores and Amazons are great places to start. Actually, I've got a few items that I've bought and tested out for myself, so I will link beginner-friendly items that I personally used in the description below if you're interested. This day pack I bought a couple of days ago is pretty good. I really like it. So I can go over that another time. So you do want to practice with all your gear before you go. I still do this every season, checking my water filter and inspecting my tent for holes, making sure my fuel canisters are full and lighters work. Ask me how I know, because I've been out on trail and I've not had a lighter that works. Thank goodness I usually have a hiking partner now and he has a lighter or something that works. We've gone out with filters that don't work. One of them are broken, so thank goodness I have him. But finally, before you head out, get familiar with the trail before you go. Look at the reviews. There's all sorts of apps now. You can look at maps. I like looking at big maps to see the big picture. And check out the elevation profiles. To this day, I'm still learning what 1,000 feet of elevation actually feels like. To look at it at a map meant nothing to me back in Ontario when we didn't have the mountains. It wasn't until here that I knew what it felt like. So I hope this gives you a little bit more confidence to get started, because really it just takes putting one foot in front of the other. And you're never too old and you're never too out of shape. And if you're inexperienced, that's with anything starting new. Like, we're all inexperienced with something when we start new. It's just learning those skills slowly but surely, and you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna get lost, and you know what? That's okay. Just expect that. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Get yourself a good pair of shoes and just go out and enjoy it. You'll love it, I promise. It changed my life. If you hadn't seen my last video, the reason why I moved out here was because of backpacking. So I would have never have come out here if I hadn't started. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.